This this is the last time I'm gonna attempt to record this, bro. This calm down. Alright. This is the redo of what if Deku had lost power. The first time I was excited. The second time I was in a bad mood. And the third time I'm in a bad mood even more. So this is take 3 of this video. So Deku was born. He everything like the anime. He didn't have a quirk. Got bullied. But then one day, him and his mother went to the grocery store. She was trying to get something to make for dinner, and then Deku saw this weird fruit and wanted to eat it. His mom bought it for him, and when they got to the house, he took a bite out of it. Then the whole fruit decayed. Then he got the powers of the Apple no Mi, also known as the Operation Fruit. So then this man Deku, would train his power. No one would know he had it, but then he would figure out that you needed to know how to conduct surgery, right? So then he tells his mother he wants to. He just says to his mother he wants to become a surgeon, and her father is a surgeon, even though he really wants to become a hero. So she takes him to her father, and his granddad teaches him how to conduct surgery and stuff. And he would he would learn how to he would master how to do surgery, and he would be able to use the powers of his fruit. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to know all the powers and stuff. But you just gonna hear him as it go on if you don't go to the video and the link. And I don't own this art, just so YouTube don't give me a copyright strike. I don't own this art. I didn't draw this. I got this off of Google. So anyway, shoot. So we fell after them at the school. The teacher comes in and throw the paper out like usual. I know you all want to become hero. Everybody get hype as freak. You feel me? And then Deku, not Deku. The teacher names the people who apply for UA. He says Bakugo. Bakugo goes on with his rant about how the people, all the other people in the class are useless nobodies. They're side characters. They are side characters. But Bakugo didn't have to tell them that. You feel me? Then he says Izuku Midoriya. And then that made Bakugo mad because he a little bit boy. Feel me? And then after class, Bakugo goes over to Deku. Deku's writing in his notebook, just chilling. And then Bakugo explodes his notebook and makes Deku mad. And Deku asks him why he did that. He said, because you're nobody. Why would anyone care about you going to UA? No, I'm just over this right now. I don't got that good energy that I had earlier. Then this might even come out tomorrow, man. You know what? I'm just gonna have that mentality, get this bit done. Freak it. I got that good energy now. Alright, but yeah, I left to handle some business. But yeah. So Bakugo was like, "You're just a side character," so like that, and was telling him to give up, all that stuff. Not Bakugo, Deku just not listening. You hear the sound in the background. Those are my cousins. But anyway, so Deku going home, right? He taking the shortcut, and the sludge villain tries to get him, and the sludge villain actually grabs him, but Deku had brain power, and he opens a room. It's not a large room, but it's a big enough room to take up the what's it called? The tunnel. And he switched locations with the manhole that the sludge villain came out of, and the sludge villain is holding the manhole again. And as he does, and then he tries to jump on Deku again, but at this time, Deku 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 throw wind slashes at him and slice him up into pieces, and then he pushes. So then the sludge villain splats on the wall, and freaking All Might slides around the corner. And then it's like, I am here. And then he sees the sludge villain already taken care of. So then after he picked the sludge villain up, Deck was like, oh my god, it's freaking All Might. And then he asks for an autograph, gets the autograph and stuff. And then after he gets the autograph, All Might jumps off, but the sludge villain still fall off. Even though Deku didn't grab onto his leg, the sludge villain still falls out. Then Deku's walking home, and then he sees a crowd of people, sees fire, and he sees pro heroes. And then he wasn't gonna pay it any mind, but then he starts hearing explosions. Then that got his attention. He asks what's going on, and a man tells him that a kid got caught by the sludge villain. Deku looks up and sees Bakugo trapped by the sludge villain, and he has the heart of a hero. So when he sees this, he rushes in and he makes a room around the sludge villain and Bakugo, and then he throws his book bag and switches Bakugo with the location of his book bag. So then Bakugo just comes out, and Deku catches Bakugo. Not on that gay stuff though. And then the sludge villain is holding the book bag, but then All Might sees his courage, this boy's courage, Deku's courage, and he turns into All Might. And then he throws a punch that changed the weather, like he did in the anime, and all that. Alright. So after that, All Might finds Deku and asks him, does he want his quirk? Deku is like, what do you mean? You can't give me your quirk. Then All Might gives him the rundown, all that stuff. Tells him that could pass the quirk on. Then Deku's like, yeah, sure. And then All Might said, we're gonna be training tomorrow. So then All Might's like, we're gonna be training tomorrow, so wake up early. And then Deku's like, I bet. Then he go home and go to sleep. Next day, so then when Deku comes to the beach, and All Might is like, okay, your training will be to clean the beach. Then Deku was like, oh, that's it? Easy. Then he makes a room and then just starts to putting, switching them for grains of sand and putting them in a pile. And then almost like, no, you're cheating. You cannot use your quirk, just use your regular strength. And then Deku's like, oh, freak. Oh, and they can't see the room. It'll have a bluish tint in the anime, but they can't see the room. It's invisible to everybody else but us. So Deku. So so Deku would pick her up, and since he's stronger in this, he will finish in about 2 months. So he gets the quirk on the second month, and then Deku, All Might, be like, all right, throw a punch to see if your body can handle it, and Deku can't handle it. So they All Might trains him and how to control it, and it took about 4 months to control it, and Deku found out the use full Cowling, but uh, and then after that, Deku spends the rest of the 4 months training and how to not get tired for making big rooms, and he can make a room the size of a city without getting tired. So then he goes to the UA, and then he trips. Uraraka slaps him. He thanks her for helping him not fall. That's how they meet. Then they do the exam. He come first place. He's a genius. Freak it. Uh, then it's time for the practical exam, and Deku already met. Well, no. He looking at Uraraka, and Ida comes up and is like, let her focus and stuff. And Deku was like, who are you? And why are you talking to me? And then he just shut Ida up, and then it's time for the gates to open. Then as soon as the gates open, Deku makes a room around the whole exam, his whole part of the exam, and then he just he uses he just throws wind slashes to track down all the all of the all of the robots, 2 pointers, 1 pointers, 3 pointers, and then that were out at that time, and then they kill all of them. Then Deku's like, oh, I have enough. So then he just goes to sleep on the top of a building until he hears the scream from a familiar voice. When he hears this familiar voice, he looks down and sees Uraraka trapped under rubble. Then his room is still up, and he switches places with one of the stacks of rubble that's on her, and helps her get from under the rubble with his power to move things. Then he jumps. Not jumps. He flies to the 0 pointer robot and punches it with 100% of all. One for all, and destroys it. And then everybody's trying to get their last points and stuff. And then Deku freaking leaves after the exam is over. His mom says, his mom tells him to, not tells him, asks him did he make it in. He said he don't know yet, but he hope he did. Then Deku, the envelope comes in, and then All Might tells Deku that he made it in the UA, and he comes to UA for the first day. I'm just blowing past this, bro. I'm sorry. It would have been way better if I did it earlier. And then, but you're getting more of the story already in this first part. So then here's the part that I didn't get to. He walks into class, right? And he's in there, and he's the first one there. So he he's just sitting in there. Then he sees Aizawa come in and lay down on the floor, and he doesn't care. He's just sitting, and then everyone else starts coming in and start talking and familiarizing, and then he sees Uraraka, and he talks to her, and Ida's like telling everybody to stop talking and wait for the teacher. Then Deku says he's already here, and then freak, Deku came in first place. I forgot to tell you that, but yeah, I told you in the earlier one, but didn't say it in this one. But yeah, Deku says he's already here. Then Aizawa says, "Why you have to tell them?" And yeah, Aizawa says, "Go put on your gym uniforms and come outside for a physical test." And everyone's like, "But orientation." And he's like, "If you want to go to orientation, you're expelled." So then everybody go to put their uniform on. In the changing rooms, they see how muscular Deku is. He built like Law. He built like Law in the picture, and they see that Deku's buff, and they say, "Deku, how did you get so buff?" And then he was like, "I've been training over the time since school ended." Right? That's how he got like that. And he was like, they was like, "Oh," and all that stuff. So then they go outside and they're doing the ball test, and Aizawa tells Deku to do it first without using his quirk, and Deku throws it, and then he gets, like, let's just say he gets 200 meters, and they're all surprised that he's strong like that. And then they say, and then Aizawa says, "Now use your quirk," and he summons a room, right? And then on top of that, he uses 100% of all, one for all, and then he grasps it, and then he throws it, and while it's in the room, he gives it a speed boost, and the ball shoots all the way in the outer space, and he gets infinity. All the other tests, he get the first rank. In the grip test, he breaks it one for all. In the side to side stuff, he just switches location. He just switches location. His shirt is open too, if you wanted to know. His shirt is open. So he just switches locations with a rock he found on the ground, and he keeps doing it. In the race, he throws the rock and then teleports to it and switches locations with it. Instant dub. And then with everything else, he just dominates. And then he gets number one in everything except for the ball throw. He tied for number one with Uraraka. No. And then after that, they go back to class, and then All Might slide through for the heroes and villains. And that's why I'm going to end this part off today. If y'all would have came earlier, it would have been ended, but it would have been more detailed. It would have been more detailed. I'm going to post tomorrow if I can. And tell me in the comments if you want uh, This or what if Deku had Ultra Instinct? Alright.